Howdo, everybody! Welcome back to Let's Stream Dark Souls Prepare to Die Edition. Alright, last time we left off down here at the bottom of Blighttown. And I meant to do this off-screen, but this won't take long, so not quite enough. I actually want to go back up this way, because there's a blow dart sniper that we didn't really technically kill, because while we did kick him off the ledge he was standing on, the game didn't recognize that we killed him or that we knocked him off a ledge, so I'm very thorough and that bothers me, so I'm going to head back up and kill him real quick. Or who knows, maybe I'll get lucky and the game will realize, oh wait, this thing was supposed to die when I'm halfway up there. Wow, that black screen happened really early. Okay then. You. Freaking mosquitoes. But yeah. I just want to go up here, double check and make sure that the blow dart sniper that lives up here is actually dead. So you gonna do... Just barely not strong enough, just barely. Yeah, thankfully it's not a long walk back to get to him. It's mainly just the tunnel full of dudes. Whoa. Ugh. You're gonna pay for that one. That's the one downside of wearing unupgraded pyromancer equipment for the the poison resist, is that, yeah, you have no defense, basically. Better than being naked, but... I think that was the earliest I could have possibly swung that and still got a parry off. Very nice. So what I'm looking for is this guy up here. And this time I actually want to kill him, not knock him off. Oh, I missed a body over there. Ah. How did I miss that? That's... okay. Well, I know where I'm going, then. I mean, with that guy gone... getting to that corpse shouldn't be too bad. I don't think it's a major corpse, either. It's like a soul. Well, you're dead. Should be easy enough to get back to. May have to fight the hellhounds for it, but... Oh, whoa! Ah, yeah, here they are. Freaking dogs. Though that actually does remind me. Can I kick you off? Yes, I can. Okay. Probably should have put the wolf ring on when I wasn't in any danger. push. Okay, now we're back over here. I'm gonna avoid the bonfire if I can help it, because I don't want those hellhounds harassing me again. Okay, I can get to that from here, so that's good. Yeah, I think if you tried to get this before... Yeah, it's just a soul. I think if you tried getting this before killing that blow dart sniper, you would have been just in range and he'd start sniping you. That's just something I missed before. Not a huge deal. We can head back. Ah, you know what? I've got a homeward bone and I so rarely use these. So let's head back. Okay, so now that we're back down here, let's actually do the business we came here to do. So, I want to head to a couple of locations. The first is actually across the swamp over there with all the boulder throwing dudes. Before you go over there, I heavily suggest you have your humanity enabled, and if you haven't done so, get into combat and kill Man-Eater Mildred. Because Man-Eater Mildred's got a little bit of a side quest type thing. Alright. So what I want to do here... If you stand next to this pillar, there are mosquitoes around, but if you stand next to it, you'll notice even though we're in their aggro range, the mosquitoes are not bothering us. So we're safe as long as we stand next to this pillar, more or less in this exact spot. And while we wait for our poison to go down, I want to use Hidden Body to sneak past these guys. And I'll probably have to kill them on the way back, but shouldn't be too big a deal. Just cut across here. Made it across without getting poisoned. Excellent. Let's get into this tunnel before Hidden Body wears off. Okay. So now I want to change my equipment. Let's go with the wolf ring for some poise. I want to get my Wanderer set back on. I think technically... No, okay. The Wanderer set does have better defenses purely because it's upgraded. Let's see. I also want the Dragon Crest shield equipped because the boss up here mainly does fire damage. And believe it or not, I actually want my bow because I want to attempt something. So let's go ahead and summon Man-Eater Mildred. If you kill her summoned or her invading phantom, you can summon her here if you're human. Which, she's still pretty crap on the offense, but as a white phantom, she's surprisingly tanky. So, she's good to have for this fight, easy though it is. So let's head through. Chaos Witch Quelaag. Now, if I can, I want to try and hit her torso. Because you'll notice, Quelaag is a, almost like a Drider, kind of. So, if you have a ranged weapon and you hit her human half, you will poise break her every time. Alternatively, what you can do is you can go into melee combat and just hit the spider. She on her own is not that dangerous. She's more annoying than anything. She has one really big attack that catches a lot of players off guard, which the tell for it is what people refer to as hug the spider. If you see her hugging the spider, get away from her, because she will... If you see her hugging the spider, she's about to do a massive AoE attack, and if you are anywhere close to her when she does that, she will let out a massive blast, which, if it doesn't outright kill you, will hit you like a truck. That attack right there. Now, Maneater Mildred's tanky. She can take it. But we need to make sure we're out of her range. Now, that attack and most of the non-physical attacks that Quelaag does are fire elemental. Okay. So this is not working too well, so let's go with magic weapon. Now, if you actually stand fairly close to her... Okay, she's not doing the hug the spider. If you stand fairly close to her, with your shield up, you can fairly safely dodge a lot of her sword swings. Ooh. I accidentally kicked when I didn't mean to. Ooh. Let's say that's fire, that's hug the spider, so let's back off. Okay, that's hug the spider. Looks like Maynard and Mildred may not survive this because she's gotten herself stun-locked in a lava pit. Ooh! Yeah, be careful of that. If you hit her in the back too much, she'll do that. And we got her. I'm surprised Maynard and Mildred survived that. But yeah, no, I could have ended that a lot quicker if I didn't decide to show off the fact that you could stun lock her by shooting her in the head, but yeah, I generally just go melee with her most times. But that's Quelaag dead. She's not a huge problem if you've got Mildred or another person helping you out, but that kind of goes for most of the bosses. As long as you have something fire resistant, you should be fine against her, as long as you know to avoid her when she's hugging the spider. Nice. Okay. So technically what we're supposed to do is we're supposed to go back now, because that's the second Bell of Awakening rung. And we can find out the fate of the undead now that both have been rang, but there's a little bit of business we can do down here. First and foremost is this. Another hidden wall. And this is an egg burdened, by the way. This specific egg burdened you can actually talk to. I avoided the few that were topside coming in. They're not worth killing. If you kill an egg burdened, the egg sacs on their back will rupture, and you will get swarmed by little parasitic maggots. And they're more annoying than anything else, so it's just best just to leave the egg burdened alone.
Oh dear, what have we here? Are you a new servant?
Sure, if you want me to be.
But you have no eggs. No matter. Go along and have audience with our fair lady. I pray that you will mind your manners. What is it? Go along and meet our fair lady.
First, I want to rest here. Notice we got 10 Estus from this one. And she doesn't speak. Now, unlike Anastasia, who had her tongue cut out, this is known as the Fair Lady or Quelaag's sister. She is a firekeeper, much like Anastasia up above, but unlike Anastasia, she doesn't speak because she speaks a language that we don't understand. Back during character creation, one of the starting gifts you could pick was the Old Witch's Ring, and the description said it had no known use. If you equip the Old Witch's Ring and talk to Quelaag's sister, you can actually converse with her, which you can get the Old Witch's Ring via another method, so if I manage to find it, I'll come back and talk to her, but there really isn't much we can do with her. We can enter her covenant, which is the Chaos Servants. I will do that later. I'm actually going to have to do that later for a side quest for another character, so I'll do that when the time comes. But for now, it's good to know that she's here and that there's a bonfire here as well. So now for this guy, I don't believe he tells you his name. This guy's name is Engi, I think is how that's pronounced. Because if we look at our spells, it was one of the first spells we picked up because we picked it up when we got the Pyromancer set, Poison Mist. Unique pyromancy crafted by Engi, considered a heretic even at the Great Swamp. Create Poison Mist. Engi became an egg-bearing undead who serves a deformed young girl who speaks an unintelligible tongue. So that's kind of your hint that you can't really talk to the fair lady there.
Are you prepared to dedicate yourself to our fair lady? Then I will make available whatever you require. If you need something, ask me first.
Sure.
There is no time for idle chat. Think only of our fair lady and what she may need. There is nothing to say to you, except if you lay a hand on the fair lady, you should be prepared to face my wrath.
I don't think that'll be necessary, but thank you.
There is nothing to say except you should...
Okay. Well, Enki doesn't really have anything to say to us, and he doesn't have a whole lot of items either. He has the servant roster, which is a useless online play item. Servant roster. Check servants of the Daughters of Chaos. Egg-bearer Engi keeps this roster of those who serve his master, a Daughter of Chaos. Engi praises those who offer significant humanity to alleviate his master's suffering. But what is praise from Engi really worth? Fair point. Now, there is a way that you can actually get Engi to warm up to you, and it involves the egg burden. If you actually go out this way, we have another bonfire right there. It's not lit, but we can go ahead and light it. And then you see there's a bunch of egg burden down here just sitting around. Okay, so what I want to do here is I want to take off my hood. There's a specific reason for this. Let's see. Down here, going down this slope towards that huge lava lake, there are these 3 egg burden down here that are separate from the pack. These egg burdened are aggressive. So these guys actually have an attack. Not that one, but you can see that's the maggots they spew out if you kill them. They have an attack where they will attempt to grab you. I actually want to get grabbed by that attack. And grabs can't be blocked, so come on. And you'll notice whenever they do that attack, they spew out that maggot and it bites your head. I mentioned back in Darkroot Garden... Okay, they may actually kill me here if they stagger grab me. Okay, roll away. So get my health back. Now I actually want to pay attention to my character a little bit. I want to see if he starts scratching his head. Because if he does, we've gotten a unique status effect. And the reason I took my hood off is because the chances of you getting that status effect from the attack are reduced if you're wearing any kind of headwear. Which makes sense. So, let's see. Are you going to start scratching your head? I probably don't have it yet. Let's not look at the lava. That kind of hurts. Okay, yeah, I don't have it yet, so come on. You missed. See, the problem with that grab as well is if they don't hit you just right, they just kind of hit you and they don't actually grab you. Just in case they chain grab me. Come on. There we go. I think that little attack where they spew the maggot out of the egg sac without grabbing you can also do it, but doing it this way is the most reliable way to do it. Ah, good. Scratching my head. Okay, so you do not want to rest on a bonfire once you start scratching your head, because that'll cure the status before it really breaks out. So now that my character has started scratching his head, we have begun the process of being infected with a egg-bearing parasite, the ones that they have. So now that I have this, I'm going to retreat to a safe area where they won't follow me, and basically just wait around for the status effect to proc. Because eventually it will proc, and it just takes time. It takes a couple of minutes, I think. So we'll just kind of stand here and wait for the status to break out. And you want to do this at least once, because you can get some extra little bits out of it. So let's just wait here. Just keep scratching your head. You can tell how soon you're going to get the status by how frequently your character scratches their head. The more they do it in succession, the sooner you will be egg-headed, as it were. I'm going to double check my mic real quick. I'm pretty sure it's on. Yep. Should be getting it any minute now. There we go. And now we have the egghead status effect. So before I talk to Ingi, I'm actually going to explain what this does. You basically have to go out of your way to get it, so it's not something you'll encounter on a regular basis. What Egghead does is the most immediate effect is that it removes your ability to wear any kind of headgear. you now have a parasite growing inside that egg sac on your head. And to facilitate the growth of the parasite, half of your souls that you get from killing enemies are absorbed by the parasite. Once the parasite absorbs 100,000 souls, it grows into the next stage of life and replaces your kick with the attack that the egg burden has, where one of those parasitic worms comes out of the eggshell. And that does damage and I think has higher knockback. I know it does a lot more stamina damage. Some people used to use it in PvP to counter turtlers, but the secondary effect is that doing this allows you to unlock some extra stuff with Ingi here.
Well, now, you're just like me. Your dedication is fully apparent. Only, well, your head looks awful. Why not try this? I've no use for it any longer.
And we get an egg vermifuge. We got one of those in Darkroot Garden. Now, before we use that, let's talk to him again, because now he's a bit more amicable towards us.
Oh, hello. What is it that you need? Incidentally, do you have an interest in pyromancy? If you have, I shall share my flame with you.
Now, Ingi is the second pyromancy teacher you can come across. He doesn't have the kind of stock that Laurentius does, but he can upgrade your pyromancy flame like he can. And he will only extend this offer to you if you have the egghead status and you have an intelligence stat of at least 11. Thanks.
You have served our fair lady well. Now, let this strength be yours. Worse than undead, we are diseased and unwanted, like the grime of the great swamp. But my dear fair lady, she cried for me and swallowed the great blight pus, despite Mistress Quelaag's orders to the contrary. Worse than
Okay, so that kind of gives some background onto the fair lady's condition, why she's a firekeeper, and what Quelaag was actually doing. Quelaag doesn't care about the Bell of Awakening in and of itself. So what happened there is Engi and the other egg-burdened were afflicted by a disease known only as the blight pus. And out of mercy, pity, or what have you, the fair lady sucked the pus out to help alleviate their pain, becoming deathly ill herself. In order to survive the disease, she became a firekeeper. As long as that flame burns, she cannot die of natural causes. And the flame gets stoked by humanity, which improves her health, because her health is directly linked to the flame. What Quelaag was doing, being aware of the legend of the undead and the importance of the Bells of Awakening, she set up shop here, waiting for undead who wanted to ring the bell to come by, so she could kill them, steal their humanity, and give it to her sister. And by defeating Quelaag, we've cut off the fair lady's humanity supply unless we decide to give her some of our own. We unfortunately don't have enough to spare right now, but we will be giving her some. So now in some more stuff, doing this whole egghead thing will expand Ingi's stock. He will now sell egg vermifuges, and if you look at his spells, he sells another copy of Poison Mist, and he sells Toxic Mist, which is the same thing as Poison Mist, but it does the toxin status instead.
Worse than but
we don't have anything else. I know he says some more stuff later. Okay, so let's look at that egg vermifuge he gave us. Bitter sour chestnut. Looks more like an acorn to me. Removes parasitic egg from body. The egg bearers have chosen to serve the flame of chaos, and the eggs symbolize this selfless choice. Naturally, these chestnuts are forbidden, but are allowed under special circumstances. And the egg vermifuge removes the egghead status. So our business here is not yet concluded. There is actually one thing I want to do back where those eggheads are. Because I know we just killed Quelaag, but even so soon after doing that, there's another boss we can fight. Technically, it's the boss of the area after this, which we're not supposed to go to until after halfway through the game, or the game's halfway point, but he's right here. You might as well kill him. He's worth a decent chunk of souls, so I think it's worth it. Hope y'all don't mind the glare, though, because we're going to have to walk past that to actually get to the guy. But yeah, the egg burdens out here really are not a threat. You can just run past them, and they won't bother you. They're mainly just there so you can get the egghead status and make Ingi less hostile. Okay. So before we go through this boss fog, I do want to make some adjustments. Let's see. I don't actually want a weapon. I can probably keep the longbow equipped. That'll be fine. Yeah, I'll go with that. Let's see. Longbow. Magic won't help, but the catalyst is so, like, lightweight that it won't make a difference. I want the Grass Crest shield, and I want the Chloranthy ring, because I want stamina. Actually, since I very rarely use them, I should have some green blossoms here, too. Come on. Now, there are two ways to fight the boss up here. There is the hard way, and there is the intended way. If you intend on doing this the hard way, I would suggest that you pack fire resistance if you can, because this guy, much like Quelaag, primarily does fire damage. And here's our boss. Now notice, his health bar hasn't appeared. He's not even paying any attention to us. And he's just standing here. He hasn't initiated. He's not doing anything. You have to initiate the boss fight yourself. Either by attacking him, which from where he's standing, you need to either use some sort of sorcery or a bow in order to initiate the fight. But if you want to do this the easy way or the intended way, you cannot attack him. You have to come over here and loot this corpse. Now, if this makes him mad, don't run yet. That's not an attack, that's him ripping his own arm off in anger. Most people make the mistake of running away immediately, and they get caught by that, so you want to wait a second in order for him to do that, and then you're in the clear. Dude moves and attacks really slow, but a lot of his attacks have some form of fire AoE whenever they hit the ground, so if you're fighting him in melee, the difficult way, you have to make sure you give enough space to dodge the AoEs too. But basically, to do the intended way, you loot the body, run all the way back here, hug the fog wall. Okay. And now, you can't see it from here, but he's precariously hanging over the edge of a cliff. So all you gotta do is punch him in the hand to make him lose his grip, and down he goes. Now, doing in Ceaseless Discharge cooled a lot of the lava down there. Okay, so let's make preparations to head back. We're going to need the spider shield. We actually don't need the tattered cloth stuff anymore because we have the gold-hemmed black equipment, which is better for poison resistance in basically every way. So let's actually look at this stuff that we picked up, that corpse we looted. Oh yeah, we also got the Dragon King Great Axe from the Gaping Dragon. I meant to look at that last time. Let's see. This axe, one of the rare dragon weapons, is formed by the tail of the Gaping Dragon, a distant, deformed descendant of the Everlasting Dragons. The axe is imbued with a mystical power to be released when held with both hands. Much like the Drake's Sword, the Dragon King Great Axe does flat base damage, no scaling, and has a special attack if you use a two-handed large attack with it. Only instead of shooting a very narrow shockwave straight ahead of you, you do a massive centered on you AoE blast that knocks down anything around you. Let's see. So we want the Gargoyle's Halberd. Okay. And then we'll put the Wolf Ring on for poise for now. And I want to organize my inventory a little bit here. Where is that gold-hemmed black set? I want to move it up a little. Alright. Okay, I don't know why the standard equipment's like that, but I'll fix that here in a second. Let's see. Gold-hemmed black. Gold-hemmed black. We will not be getting anything better for poison resistance for quite some time. So if we have any issues with another poison area, which there's a couple, not as extensive as Blighttown, and we will be passing back through here a couple of times at least. So having poison resist gear is going to be helpful. All right, let's move that stuff back down here, as we don't need that clogging up our inventory like it's doing. There we go. Alright, so let's look at these real quick. Worn by the witch Quelaag of Isolith, mother of pyromancy and daughter of chaos. She wore this gold-hemmed black hood before even the Age of Fire, and it offers strong resistance versus fire, poison, and other perils. And it's more or less the same description for all of these. So, something unique about the gold-hemmed black set here is that it has really good base stats. However, its base stats are all it has. It's a unique set of equipment in that it cannot be upgraded at all. So, it's really good for new game, especially when in regards to dealing with fire damage or poison. However, there are other items that are better than it in both of those categories, but for when you can get it, it's really, really good. So we will definitely be making use of this for a while. But our business here has concluded. We have taken care of Ceaseless Discharge. And we will actually learn more about Ceaseless Discharge when we come back. He is an example of a lore fight. Dark Souls 1, at least, doesn't have the most intimidating boss roster. Quite a few of the bosses are actually pushovers. But what's interesting is whenever there is a boss like that, there is always an in-universe lore reason for it. And Ceaseless Discharge is no exception. So, now, we need to head back to Firelink Shrine, and there's the other half of Upper Blighttown to complete as well. Let's play with these guys again. Alright. Are you actually going to come up here, or are you just going to be chucking boulders all day? You are going to be ineffectually chucking boulders at me all day. Come on. Actually get over here. There you are. Man, what's with my throat tonight? Freaking ogres. You'd think them dropping their rock when they die would hurt you, but it doesn't. Come on. Stop hucking rocks. There you go. Should be one more in the muck somewhere. There you are. Like to fight him up here so that way the mosquitoes don't get aggroed. That back on, and we gotta rush back across the swamp. So I will more than likely get poisoned trying to make the trip. But I'm going to be resting at the bonfire in the pipe, so it's not going to be a huge deal. Oh, what do you know? I had just enough poison resistance to make it. Very cool. Rest here real quick. My equipment should be good. I'll keep the rusted iron ring on just in case I need to... Well, okay, you just poised through that. I didn't think they had any poise. Huh. Ah, there's that counter damage. Very nice. Now that we're out of the swamp, I want the wolf ring, and I want the blooming clumps, because we are potentially going to get toxicked up here. Got hidden body. It's also possible we may fall to our death up here. There is a bridge-type section coming up that can be a little bit finicky with its collisions. Sometimes you'll be walking on it, and the game just decides, oh, sorry, you're not supposed to be here, and eject you just down a hole. So, let's head back up here. This should look familiar because we've been around this area several times already. Now, I think up here we should be safe. There we go. Two-hand gets through it. Alright, so I want to use hidden body real quick. Because that should stop... No, that's the bridge. I don't want to go that way yet. I want to go up this way again. And I need to be quick about this because hidden body's not going to last forever. So with Hidden Body, we've seen this blow dart sniper before. Moss Clump. I actually want to come back here and wait for Hidden Body to dissipate. Because, yeah, there we go. Come on, Mosquito. So, this little tunnel here that I'm about to go into is probably one of the most dangerous areas in Blighttown, period. Because there's like 4 or 5 blow dart snipers up in here. In addition to the Hellhounds. So, easiest way of dealing with them without getting shot is to use Hidden Body and just kind of rush until you can kill most of them. There's one more I can probably get to before Hidden Body wears off. And then if I play my cards right, there we go. No more blow dart snipers. Now for the fun part. Actually, I should be able to snipe these dogs from up here. If I can get some headshots off. And I actually do, if I can, want to attract attention of as many of these as possible. Get them all roughly in the same place. Good. All 3 of them are right where I want them, so we're going to cast Fall Control. That should negate the fall damage, and we are going to drop on them. Take that. Okay, unfortunately, ow, I only got 2 of them, but 2 is better than none. Right, now there's a bunch more of these guys just hanging out around here. So... Now, the Hellhounds actually aren't as bad as the dogs upstairs, because while they are smaller, they periodically stop to breathe fire, which leaves them open. Okay. Poising through it's not going to do me much good if they actually kill me, so let's get your attention. And this is the main prize we came up here for, a Firekeeper soul. If I'm not mistaken, that is actually the last Firekeeper soul you can just find out and about. If you want any more after using that, you're going to have to start murdering Firekeepers for theirs. So there was 2 benefits to coming up this way. First and foremost was the Firekeeper soul. There's also I think it's a soul of some kind over here. Just on this body. But killing all of those blow dart snipers, and also making sure they don't come back because they're unique enemies, means we can cross that bridge down there without getting sniped. And this thing is precarious enough without you getting shot. So let's go this way. I think there might be a crag spider on the other side. I don't remember. I know the mosquitoes are the main threat here. So you want to be really careful when you're crossing this, because, like I said, there can be some really weird collisions where the game suddenly thinks you're standing in an area where you shouldn't, and it'll just jettison you off of that and kill you. I've had it happen to me. It was not a fun time. Let's see what we got here. The Sealer set, a Tin Banishment Catalyst, and we get a new sorcery, Remedy. Whoa! Freaking mosquito, go away. If you actually look down, we're close to where the other ramp was. The one that had the Wanderer set on it. Now I think, yeah, there's nothing here, it's just a bunch of scenery. Freaking mosquitoes, man. Freaking mosquitoes. So I don't think there's anything over here but a dead end. Yeah, no. Yeah, this area as a whole is just a dead end. So what I like to do is I like to smash all of these, because I could cross that bridge, but instead I'm going to take a shortcut back because I have fall control. I don't need to cross that glitchy mess. I can just jump down there, make the landing, and go on my merry way. Now, something to note about fall control is the mechanics behind it naturally interacts with the fall damage mechanics. Fall damage is based on a percentage of your health that is determined by how far you've fallen. If you fall past a certain threshold, you will die guaranteed because it'll have done 100% of your health and damage. The way fall control works is it looks at what your HP currently is, and if fall control is active and you take a fall that would not otherwise kill you, meaning you have enough HP to have survived it anyway, fall control will negate the damage entirely. If the fall would have killed you, fall control will not save you. So if you're low on health, when you're using fall control, you might want to heal first because you might end up dying anyway. And hey, we recognize this place. There's the tunnel out, because this is the back way to Blighttown. Now, we don't need what's in here, because we have the master key, key to New Londo Ruins. Key to the iron bars separating the ruins of New Londo and Drake Valley. The ruins of New Londo were blocked off, for the cursed ghosts posed danger to life and spirit. And the legends speak of a terrible dark which was sealed away. Yep. We can actually get more context about that if we look at the Mask of the Sealer and the Crimson set. Mask of the Sorcerers who flooded New Londo to seal away the Dark Wraiths and the four kings who descended into dark. It symbolizes their resolve to keep the seal shut forever and their atonement for all who were sacrificed. But two of the three forsook New Londo upon tiring of their duty. The Sealers were once known as healers, and the bright crimson was a symbol of that. Yep. So we get a little bit of background on New Londo, but New Londo is not going to be happening for quite a while. Hey, Ugly. Now, I hope y'all like Blighttown, because we'll definitely be coming back here. We just have business elsewhere for a little while. And we're actually going to be going to quite a few places today. Ooh, you didn't like that. Come here, fatty. Let's dance. It's nice killing them in 2 parries instead of like 12. Now, something I neglected to mention about these guys with that roar of theirs, I think what that's supposed to do is that's supposed to alert other enemies nearby if you are fighting these close enough to other enemies and they somehow have not noticed you yet. That should be everything in Blighttown, so now we can get back to wearing our Wanderer set. And the Boulder Shield, there we go. Poison's no longer a factor. We will be back here eventually, but I'll actually probably end the episode here, depending on how things go. But we definitely have a lot of business to attend to in a lot of different places. First and foremost, of course, being Firelink Shrine. Because quite a big change has happened there. no! Anastasia and Lautrec are gone. We get the Dingy set and the Black Eye Orb. Worn by the Firekeeper at Firelink Shrine. It is thought to have been once the white hood of a maiden, but smoke and ashes from bonfires have darkened it over the years. So, Anastasia's been killed. Mystical orb found on a keeper's corpse. Invade the world of the murderer of Firekeeper to defeat the perpetrator and reclaim the soul of the Firekeeper. The Black Eye keeps constant watch on the city of the gods, and Orlando. So it looks like Lautrec here killed our Firekeeper. Now, unfortunately, because she's dead, that means the fire here is permanently gone out. Now, you actually can spare Anastasia that fate. If you kill Lautrec before he has a chance to do that, which there's actually 2 sequence triggers for him murdering the Firekeeper. The first is ringing the second Bell of Awakening. The other is if you sequence break to Blighttown and grab the Firekeeper soul inside that little drainage pipe with all the blow dart snipers, even if you haven't freed him from his cell yet, grabbing that particular Firekeeper soul will trigger the event for him to kill the Firekeeper, and he won't be in his cell. However, I opted not to save her because I wanted her armor. Something specific to note about the Dingy set is that the Dingy set has the best magic defense of, I think, any armor, especially when upgraded. It has really good curse resistance, too. So, for magic and curse type stuff, we're definitely going to want that, and magic is one of the more common damage types. So, once we get that set upgraded, we'll be getting some mileage out of it. So, hey, you're not fussed about the whole fire being dead thing, huh?
Did you ring the second bell? That is incredible, I must say. But now we have a new problem. It's noisy, it snores, and its breath is lethal. This is no laughing matter, I tell you. Damn, that stench. And I was really beginning to like it here. Maybe it's time I do something about it.
Okay, well, nothing else to say, huh? What about you, Griggs? You doing okay?
Oh, hello. Well, you certainly are keeping at it. Myself, I'm fine. Let's get started straight away. I wish to do what I can to locate Master Logan. I am aware of my shortcomings, but I cannot very well just sit around here and rot. Oh, do not worry. I have considered our relationship. I will only leave after I have taught you all the sorceries that I know. I shall count myself lucky if I manage to locate Logan, or even return here in one piece. 2 things are required. First, then... Oh, and...
Okay.
Goodbye, then. Do stay safe.
So, every NPC you meet has a quest line associated with them, even the Crestfallen guy. And this is getting into a mechanic that we'll see later, where most NPCs are undead, and when their quest lines complete, they will eventually show up in a location as a hollow that attacks you. Griggs will only have that happen to him if you completely buy out his stock of spells. Not the rings, you have to buy all of his spells to get him to move on. So in order to complete his quest, you have to spend a lot of souls. I'm not going to be doing that, but it's just something to keep in mind. Oh, hi! You're new. Who are you?
Ah, hello. Was it you who rang the Bell of Awakening? I am the primordial serpent, King Sika Framt, close friend of the great Lord Gwyn, chosen undead, who has rung the Bell of Awakening. I wish to elucidate your fate. Do you seek such enlightenment?
Sure.
Very well. Then I am pleased to share. Chosen undead, your fate is to succeed the great Lord Gwyn, so that you may link the fire, cast away the dark, and undo the curse of the undead. To this end, you must visit Anor Londo and acquire the Lord Vessel.
Okay. So we've got a black eye orb directing us to Anor Londo, and we've got a mustachioed snake thing directing us to Anor Londo.
I am pleased to see you well. Is it something urgent?
So this is Kingseeker Frampt. He is an important NPC. If you say no to his question, he'll leave and not come back. It's actually in your best interest to say yes, because he is a very important NPC if you're not really big on PvP, because he's not a merchant per se, but he's the only NPC you can quote-unquote sell stuff to. Let's see what he has to say first before I get into that.
Those who seek the realm of lords must brave Sen's fortress, a deadly house of traps. Many have gone before you, but none have returned. Fate has chosen you, but proceed with caution.
Okay. Anything else?
Those who seek fate.
Okay. So, Kingseeker Frampt here is the only NPC you can quote-unquote sell stuff to. You can feed him any item from your inventory, and he will trade you souls in exchange. There's quite a few items I actually do want to sell him because I don't have a use for them. First and foremost, these cracked red eye orbs. I don't need these. I will sell most of my Eyes of Death. I'll sell 3 of those. I think you need at least 1 of those for something later. Let's see. Purging Stones I want to keep. I'm not going to be using Fire Bombs. Now, something interesting about Frampt is the cell interface here will draw from both your current inventory and your bottomless box. So, unlike when you're interacting with Snugly the Crow, you don't have to get things in advance to feed to him. It just pulls it straight from your stash. So let's get rid of the fire bombs, black fire bombs. Throwing knives are useless. So, dung pies. Let's go into why I call this guy Dung Eater Frampt. If you know a bit about Frampt's character, you can actually gauge the reason he will buy these things from you for the prices that he does. This is actually most easily seen if you go down here. You'll notice the Firekeeper soul's worth a lot. The soul of the Moonlight Butterfly is definitely worth a lot. Like, I think if you pop the Moonlight Butterfly soul, it only gives you 1,200, but he'll buy it for 8,000. So a bit of Frampt's, one of his personality quirks is, back to what I was saying earlier. Generally speaking, the more he pays for something, the more he likes it. So for souls, for example, any soul of a female creature, he will pay you more for because he's got that dirty old man archetype going on. So, soul of the Moonlight Butterfly, we can give that to him. We could get a lot for the soul of Quelaag, but I actually want to hang on to that to make a weapon. Now, all regular poppable souls, he will give 500 for. For the most part, this is a waste, except with the souls of a Lost Undead and the large variant thereof, which give you 200 and 400 respectively. So it's better just to hang on to your Lost Undead souls to give to him. Much better. Let's see, I want the Prison Stone for later. Alluring Skulls are useless. Same thing with Lloyd's Talismans. Now, most consumable items you can see here, he will only pay 50 souls for. And the Dung Pie is a consumable. Like, if we look at here, all of our medicinal items, he'll only pay 50 for. He pays 200 for Dung Pies, and as the Crestfallen Warrior mentioned, this guy has lethal breath. He literally enjoys eating shit for whatever reason. Which, since it took me a long time to get the large club, I've got plenty of it for him, so here, Dung Eater Frampt, enjoy! Let's see, do I have anything I can sell him from this department? I don't need dragon scales, so I can sell those to him. The rest of this stuff will actually come in handy. You can't sell him keys or spells. I've got a bunch of junk weapons I can give to him. The Drake Sword, being a dragon weapon, he pays a lot for, because he's very keen on the everlasting dragons, I guess. He's a serpent, so I know he's distantly related to them, so that might be why. But we don't need this anymore, so free 5,000 souls. So if you're going for an achievement called, I believe it's called Knight's Honor, you don't want to sell anything unique or anything you can use to make a boss soul weapon. If you are going for that achievement, do not sell the straight sword hilt. You need that specifically, or a broken straight sword, to make one of the boss soul weapons. But I'm not, so I don't care. Claymores, Vihander, Scimitar. I want to keep my Falchion, the server, the Ito can go away. Sell all this stuff. The Butcher Knife's unique, but I'll sell it. Tail Axe, Great Axe. Dragon King Great Axe sells for a lot. Let's sell the Morning Star, Extra Large Club, the Great Club, Demon's Great Hammer. And the extra 50 souls for selling it is the entire reason I beat the Asylum Demon to death with my fist, to get the Demon's Great Hammer early. Just a little bit of extra souls. Every little bit helps. Spear, Wing Spear, Partisan. Don't need the normal halberd, the Great Scythe. Whip. Definitely don't need crossbows. Crossbows are useless. Don't need a Sorcerer's Catalyst. A Banishment Catalyst. I don't know what his deal is with Pyromancy Flames. I guess because he's allied with the gods, he wants to promote fire, so I guess that's why Pyromancy Flames sell for a lot to him. Let's see, the Talisman. All these junk shields. Don't need that spider shield. Don't need the gargoyle shield. Don't need the eagle shield. I can sell him all these crossbow bolts. Okay, now he'll pay 1,000 for the gold-hemmed black set because it belonged to Quelaag of Ceaseless, a woman. So again, dirty old man thing going on. Let's see, knight sets. That can be sold. The Elite Knight set, while a really good armor set, we're not going to be using it this playthrough, so I can get rid of it. I've got 2 sets of the standard armor. Don't need our pyromancy stuff anymore. We have the Brigand set, which I can sell. Same thing with the black leather set. Regular leather sets. Don't need the sealer sets. Can sell the sorcerer set because we don't need that. Dingy hoods and that stuff sells for a lot because it's a female armor set. Let's see, shadow. We can sell that stuff. The various hollow warrior, hollow soldier stuff. All their equipment. Gargoyle helmet, we don't need those. And I think we actually want to keep the sack because we can trade something for that. So, let's see, rings that we don't need. The Dusk Crown ring belonged to Dusk of Ulasil, so he will pay extra for it. Let's see, it doesn't have that good of an effect anyway. And the Ring of the Evil Eye, I actually meant to look at this last time. According to legend, this ring contains the spirit of the Evil Eye, a dark beast which assaulted Astora. Or, you know, it could also be the spirit of a totally not beholder that my boyfriend just nonchalantly stabbed in the face and killed on accident. The strength of the Evil Eye does not waver, and HP is absorbed from fallen enemies. Not a ring I'm going to be using, so just go ahead and sell it. So, should be good there, and that should be everything I can sell him for now. So, now we have another service we can engage in with him. if we actually look at our forgeable items, we have all of these forgeables, most of which we're not going to be using. Specifically, you can feed him anything that is not a Titanite shard, and he will break it down into multiples of the next level down. Like if we fed him a large Titanite shard, for example, I believe that would break down into either 3 or 5 regular Titanite shards, and we've already kind of upgraded things how we want to. As far as alternate paths go, I'm mainly going to be focusing on standard and divine, so I don't want to feed him the white chunk because we're going to need that for more divine upgrades later, but I will feed him the blue chunk because that becomes, I believe, 3 green Titanite shards, and I want to feed him all of these green Titanite shards because that will break all of those down into regular Titanite shards. And it's kind of at this point, well, soon-ish. You can do it now if you wanted to, but it'd take longer. Now that Frampt is here, if you're looking to do a lot of equipment upgrading, this would be a good time to do it, because the leeches can drop large shards and green shards. Any green shards you get can be broken down into regular shards, so you can get the basic upgrades out of the way. Let's see, I think that's everything I want to do with him for now, so...
Farewell, chosen undead. I remain here and await thee.
Later, creepy. So, unfortunately, with Anastasia being dead, the nearest bonfire is actually back at Andre's place, which I need to go to anyway. So, we'll head in that direction. And I actually do want to do some weapon upgrades while I'm there, but I'm not going to be going, like, overboard farming Titanite shards, nah. I'll probably be doing that between episodes. But there are quite a few things I want to do now that Frampt has arrived and Sun's Fortress has opened up. Oh, look, more stuff to sell to Frampt. Lovely. I will probably do the remainder of any item selling to Frampt. I will probably do that off-screen to spare you guys his yowling. Because it's bad enough when I have to listen to it. I mainly just did that to demonstrate how his services work. Oh, you know what? I forgot to talk to Laurentius. There's actually something I need to do over there, but I'll worry about that in a minute. Okay, we're here now. So let's look at... I want to put the Soul of Quelaag away. The nearest Firekeeper is the Fair Lady, so I may visit her off-screen. But now that we're here, let's go ahead and pop all of these souls we got. Yeah, we've got 3 souls here that we can pop. Nameless Soldier, Proud Knight, and Large Proud Knight. Because we have a lot of leveling up to do. Status effect shouldn't be a problem around here, so we'll go with Green Blossoms, then the Binox, and the Homer Bone. Alright, let's level up. Actually, I'm going to be upgrading most of these things, so I'll fix the Reinforced Club. Everything else should be getting upgraded, so nothing else should really need repair. Alright, so level up. Let's put points into Dex. We don't need any more points in Dex, and then we'll start putting points into Endurance. Excellent. And we actually have enough souls, we can probably do some upgrading right now. So let's talk to Andre real quick. We actually have something for him. Yo, I got another ember for you. You interested?
Ah, why, that's a fine ember you have there. I could smith some mighty weapons with one of those. Why not lend it to me?
Sure, you can have it.
Magnificent! You won't be disappointed. I can hardly wait to get started.
Excellent. So what this does is we now have access to raw reinforcement and the upgraded standard reinforcement. So standard reinforcement is just your basic weapon. It has the best strength and dexterity scaling, and it also increases the base damage. What raw does is raw is basically a weaker version of standard, because what it's supposed to do is it's supposed to let you... it does greater base damage, but it removes all scaling entirely. I think the intended purpose behind it is to give magic user type builds a weapon type that they can buff without losing too much in the damage department. But if you have the minimum stats required to wield a weapon, you'll be getting at least a little bit of scaling off of it. And raw weapons can only go up to +5, so you can only upgrade them, including the Ascension, 6 times. You're better off just going down the standard path because you get more upgrades to work with. And more upgrade levels means more base damage and more scaling. So raw is just kind of useless outside of the achievement. So, let's reinforce our stuff, because we actually do have some stuff we want to upgrade. Gargoyle's Halberd +5, yes please. Falchion needs to be +5. We can upgrade the large club, sure, get that to +5 at least. Alright. I don't think we can modify our armor. No, we can. You know what? We've got some large Titanite, and I can probably do the upgrades, so sure. Let's get everything maxed out in the armor department. Okay, so I will be upgrading my armor further, but I don't want to upgrade the Wanderer hood past +6, because I will be getting a different piece of headgear eventually. I can potentially get it a little bit later, but more than likely what's going to end up happening is that's going to be much later. But I don't see a point to upgrading it anymore. So let's go modify equipment and choose a weapon to upgrade. Let's see. I want to upgrade the Gargoyle's Halberd, since that's my main weapon, get that to +6. And then I want to upgrade the Longbow to +6 as well. Okay.
Don't get yourself killed. Neither of us want to see you go hollow.
Okay. So, we are out of large Titanite shards. We've done everything we can for now. So, the next place I want to go is I want to head to Sen's Fortress. Now, we're not actually going to be going all the way through Sen's Fortress in this episode. I specifically want to get about halfway through it to get a specific item. And then I want to leave and then do a bunch of backtracking. But as King Seeker Frampt did warn us, Sen's Fortress is full of traps. Which, if you stop and look, there's a little bit of raised floor right there. Literally right inside the doorway is a pressure plate trap that's connected to an arrow trap right there in the stairs. You can kind of see that slit there on the staircase. Also, there's snake people. Traps are indiscriminate. So, if you know where they are, you can use the traps to kill the enemies. I don't think that was quite enough. No. Okay. So here we have a pendulum gauntlet. Before we do that, there are the female snake people. There is a sexual dimorphism thing going on with these snake people. The males are the warriors. They use the man-serpent greatswords to attack you. You can actually get their great swords as a drop. It's a decent strength weapon if memory serves. But the females also have a drop. They can drop their swords. They dual-wield flamberges, which... Ah, dang it. They dual-wield flamberges, which cause bleed if they hit you with them. And they also have this ranged attack. Now, despite the fact that that's a bunch of yellow staticky particles, that ranged attack is not lightning elemental. That is actually a magic elemental attack. So you want to fight them, and you want to tank their shots. You want something with more magic defense than lightning defense. But I find it easier, when possible, just to deal with them from a distance. Don't even try and fight them up close, because they are here to take advantage of the traps and knock you into them. And speaking of taking advantage of the traps, aim this right. Down he goes. He gets smacked, he'll take some fall damage. And you'll notice that's not a bottomless pit down there. There's actually a floor. You don't want to be falling down there yet, because as you can see, there's a Titanite demon down there. We'll be back for him later. But you'll notice he kind of goes through a little doorway down there. You can hear him climbing. And if we wait... Yeah, he appears up there, so we now know if we ever fall down there, we at least have a way back. I love that stab attack of theirs. Easiest attack of theirs to parry. So Sen's Fortress is where the game starts getting mean, because if there's one thing that people complain about with Dark Souls, aside from like a select few areas, is that in any of the Soulsborne games that I've played, and other people have played as well, Dark Souls 1 is the one where you're most likely to die from falling. Because there's just so many perilous vertical areas that you have to traverse. And Sen's Fortress, being a death trap gauntlet, is chock full of them. Alright, so once you're through here, roll over this way. Okay, so 9 times out of 10 when I do that, I end up triggering the switch. Large Titanite. Okay. We have a sleeping snake man right there. No reason to mess with him. And this guy serves as an antipiece to let us know, hey, there's boulder traps here. Watch out for that bite of theirs. Okay, he is now inside, so he won't be able to get bouldered. He can, however, get parried and riposted in the gut. Okay, so we are actually safe, like right here in this little niche. As long as you're not on the main track, you should be okay. Now we want to run up here and immediately get into this little niche. And we want to kind of stop here because this snake woman will show up. And the boulder will kill her for us. Nice. So let's go up here. Into the little room she was guarding. We got another chest. The Ring of Steel protection. Let's look at that. This ring belonged to the Night King Rendell. It grants its wearer protection by boosting defense against physical attacks. Of the many legends surrounding the Night King Rendell, one of the more well-known speaks of his standing down a giant drake and slashing it to pieces. That's not a particularly good ring, because I think what it does is it raises all your physical defenses by, I think, 20? No, it's 50. It raises them all by 50. But, usually when something's doing physical damage, it's very rarely physical damage on its own. Sometimes it's split, but in general, it's kind of the same thing with wearing heavy armor. More protection is nice, but the numbers really don't help all that much. Because you're still going to be getting hit really hard either way. So I want to cast Fall Control and drop down here. Oh, nope, I missed it. Okay. Okay. So sometimes when you come down here, these snake people are dead, and sometimes they're not. Because they're not dead, I need to get their attention and get them away from that gentleman sitting right there. Because their stray swings while they're aiming at me can hit him, and I don't want him to die. You're sitting in a very precarious position right there, bud. That big attack of theirs is really hard to parry. You can parry it, it's just really difficult. There we go. Alright, so what are you doing sitting precariously on a ledge surrounded by snake people?
Oh, forgive me. I was absorbed in thought. I am Siegmeyer of Katarina. Quite honestly, I run flat up against a wall, or a ball to be precise. I'm afraid I'm a bit too tough to be outrunning those things. So here I sit in quite a pickle, weighing my options, so to speak.
You're stuck here, huh? So this is the guy who would have been waiting for you outside the gates of Sen's fortress, and he would have said more or less the same thing, only instead of talking about the boulders, he'd be talking about the Sen's fortress gate. Thankfully, you can start his question here as well, and this is the safer way to do it, because if you talk to him outside of the gate when it's still closed, there's a chance when the gate actually opens, he'll just disappear from the game entirely. So
perhaps I could try some rolling. Bah, no chance. My head would spin.
So that actually is a tip you can use. You can try rolling through the boulders to use your iframes. When you're fast rolling, you have to be pixel perfect to roll through the boulders. 9 times out of 10, what ends up happening instead is you'll mistime it, roll through most of the boulder, and end up getting clipped by the backside of it, and getting knocked backwards through the boulder, so to speak. Okay. I'm gonna use Fall Control here, because I want that item. I'm not going to use it, but it's there. I need to pick it up. There is a way you can roll through them, so to speak, but you need a specific ring to do it, and your timing still needs to be almost perfect. It's generally speaking just more effective to do a Indiana Jones style boulder run and just get out of their way. Okay, so we got another pressure plate right here, and a very obvious slit in the wall. So, you can't see him, but there is a man serpent in the other room there. Just make some noise to get his attention. He'll come and investigate. And I want to get him out of that hallway. Oi, Snakey! And effectively, I want to switch places with him. I want to get him in front of that thing and make him follow me in here. There we go. Almost perfect. I'm usually really good at actually killing these guys with those traps, but I guess I'm just a little bit off. Okay, so here we have another boulder run. You can hear a kind of mechanism grinding. What that's doing is that's changing the direction the boulders roll in. so that way they become more of a nuisance wherever you happen to be. So for this one, you just want to follow it down the staircase, and you'll notice there's that pit right there. That pit is just a pit to deposit the boulders in. And then we have this chest that's conspicuously in the middle of the room. Do not open that chest. Like everything else in Sen's Fortress, that chest is a trap. I will go into more detail about that, though, once enough boulders have passed. I think that pit has enough room for, I don't know, probably 4, maybe 5 boulders. But eventually it will get full, and no more boulders can actually go in. And we actually want that to happen. Okay, there we go. 1 more boulder should do the trick. Because when it's full, the boulder breaks the wall for us. And we can come in here and grab this. The covetous gold serpent ring. That is the main thing I came in here for. So let's stand over here and look at that. Covetous gold serpent ring. The serpent is an imperfect dragon and symbol of the undead. Its habit of devouring prey even larger than itself has led to an association with gluttony. This gold ring engraved with the serpent boosts its wearer's item discovery so more items can be amassed. So what that does is that raises your item discovery stat independent of your humanity. So if you have 10 liquid humanity and the covetous gold serpent ring, you can see, where is it? That boosts our item discovery to 410, which is the highest you can get it. So with this, we can actually really farm items. And now that I have that, it's time to do a whole bunch of backtracking to get a whole bunch of items that are not guaranteed, but would be very helpful if I can get my hands on. But before we do anything else, we actually have one of those instances right here in this room. So, again, don't open that chest. If you look at the chain, you'll notice the chain is pointing towards us. This is a mimic. Mimics are very dangerous. Now, there are multiple ways of dealing with mimics. I prefer the smash them method. If you have a Lloyd's Talisman, you can hit them with a Lloyd's Talisman. If they're awake, they'll go back into their dormant chest form. If they're in their chest form, they will very sleepily just kind of open up and let you take their loot anyway. Now, the reason I wanted to kill that, besides the souls and the item that I could get from it, is mimics have a rare drop. So I'm hoping I can get it with the gold serpent ring here. Nope, just the lightning spear. That's just the main item. So, now that I have the covetous gold serpent ring, I actually want to do a bit of backtracking to a bunch of previous areas. Okay. So this should do. And the first of which is I want to go to Darkroot Garden, because there are 2 things in Darkroot that I can hopefully get some extra goodies from now that I have the covetous gold serpent ring. There's that crystal lizard I've been avoiding, and there's also a black knight. Now, this particular black knight is one with a halberd, which if I can get the halberd, that would be really cool. If I can't, however, I would at least like to get his shield. The shield will be more helpful long-term, but the halberd will be very useful as well in a later area. It's a very good weapon. Oh, sure, give me a blooming clump when I no longer need it, thank you. Oh, hey, we got a bot. Let's get rid of you. How long have you been in here for? Let's see, ban. Yeah, get out of here. Alright, so, you can see our little crystal lizard buddy down there. Let's go see if we can get him before he escapes. If he does escape, it's not a big deal. I think there's only 2 crystal lizards we need to get to. Because there's this one, and then there's the one in the tower leading up to the Taurus Demon, which we can get to pretty easily from here. So, okay, he's gonna try and run away. Oh, I missed. Okay, so, let's quit the game out and reload it to force him to come back. Should be easier if we attack him from below, due to how the halberd swing kind of works. Alright. Got him. Awesome! Okay, so, whenever you kill a crystal lizard, you're guaranteed to get at least one Twinkling Titanite, and there's a random chance of getting any other assortment of materials. I got really lucky, and I got a bonus Twinkling Titanite and 2 Titanite chunks. We're not supposed to be getting Titanite chunks for quite a while. The reason I want to have the Covetous Gold Serpent Ring is not only for that. There is a very rare, we're talking like around about 1% chance of them dropping the ultimate forge material, a Titanite slab. Those things are so rare, I think there's only 3, maybe 4 guaranteed spawns in the game. And there's only 2 different kinds of enemies that even have a modicum of a chance of dropping one, crystal lizards being one of them. Alright, so let's see if I can get your gear. Oof. Oh, sure, do the stab after I failed to parry you twice. Okay, good. He didn't fall into the abyss. Can I get some of your gear? That'd be nice. Damn it. Well, that's unfortunate. So, I have, I think... Let me think. The Burg, the Parish... There's one in the Catacombs. There's 2 in the Asylum, and then there's one in the area after the Catacombs. So, I've got, like, 6 more chances to get a Black Knight shield. So, that's not bad. I'm more bummed about the shield than the halberd, even though the halberd would be really, really nice to get. Alright, so the next place we want to go is we actually want to head up Hovel's Tower here, because I don't think we actually unlocked the door up here. Or if we did, I don't remember doing it. But we actually have a couple of things we need to do up here. There's a Black Knight we need to kill. There's a Crystal Lizard we need to collect. Yeah, we didn't open this door. And we can also talk to the Undead Merchant as well. Because I think either by killing Capra or ringing the second bell, we unlock the last of his dialogue. Hollow Soldier Armor, that's not surprising. Alright, so if we come up here... Not that one. It's up on this level. This barrel. Very nice. Double again. Okay. Now we gotta run through the Burg and deal with all these idiots. I was about to say I have poise, but no, I don't. Because I have increased drop rates, so not poise. Okay, we could have killed this guy our first time through the Burg, but I want to try and get his shield, so I wanted to wait till now. Stabbed in the butt. And these guys are a lot easier to parry than the halberd dude is. What you gonna drop? Okay, a regular Titanite chunk. He's guaranteed to drop that. And we can finally get the item he guards. A blue Tearstone ring. This is probably one of the more useless rings in the game. The rare gem called Tearstone has the uncanny ability to sense imminent death. This blue Tearstone from Katarina boosts the defense of its wearer when in danger. if you are playing Dark Souls 3, this ring is a lot better. In this game, it sucks. So what it does is when your health goes below, I think, 20%, it raises your defenses by a little bit. The problem with that is the same problem that the Ring of Steel Protection has, where the defense values on their own really don't do a whole lot because you'll be taking a lot of damage when you get hit regardless. And when you're that low on health to trigger the effect, you're probably going to die in one hit anyway. So it's a waste of a ring slot. The only reason I'd suggest wearing it at all is if you kill that knight early and you just have an empty ring slot. And it's not a useful ability, but it's better than an empty ring slot. As I mentioned, that ring is much better in Dark Souls 3, because in Dark Souls 3, it actually takes the damage that you're taking to get that low into account when it activates its effect. Whereas in this game, you have to get below 20% before it'll trigger. If the blow that hits you, that would have taken you that low, kills you outright, the ring does nothing. See if I can close this door. There we go. Gone with you. Alright, so if memory serves, at the moment we currently have access to 3 more Black Knights. So we have 3 more chances to get the shield. The shield isn't critical, it's just a I prefer to have it if possible kind of situation. Because, at least for the first New Game cycle, the Dragon Crest shield will do fine. But if I can get the Black Knight shield before the time where you can actually go out of your way to farm it, that would make my life a little bit easier because it'd save me some farming time. Yo, long time no see. I've been very busy. How about you?
Oh, there you are. Where have you been hiding? I guessed you'd hop the twig for certain. Bah, shows what I know. It's actually quite nice here, you know. The Hollows don't care for a skinny old twig like me. I've got Yulia, and nobody pelts me with stones anymore. You're undead. You know how it is. I was treated worse back at home.
I mean, from my own personal experience, getting ignored is always preferable to getting abused.
Now, don't squander your time chatting. You need to look over my wares. Now, don't you...
Unfortunately, I don't think you have anything that I'd really be interested in at this point. No? Well, it was nice doing business with you, and it was nice chatting with you.
What a waste of time. Go and fall off a cliff.
You know, if you're really feeling lonely, there's another undead merchant in the aqueduct. Maybe you two should get together. I don't know, have some... What would undead have instead of, like, a little, like maybe tea or something? Estus? Estus tea? Is that a thing? I know Estus soup is a thing, but I don't know. Maybe have, like, just a simple little, like, coffee break, tea break kind of thing. Just two hollows hanging out. Okay. So we're going to loop back into the parish to get our next Black Knight. And maybe, fingers crossed, we will get their shield. I swear, if what's going to happen, or what I think is going to happen, actually happens, the game is going to be mocking me. Come on now. Move, 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 move. Whew. Alright, might as well rest here. Alright, so this should be Black Knight number 3. This guy is wielding a very gnarly weapon. Whew! Ow! So, like, the Baldur shield is one of the better shields in the game in terms of stability. You saw how much damage that thing did to it. Woo! Yeah, his sword is a beast. Alright, you gonna... And I got the Black Knight shield! Yes! Thank you, sir. Your service is appreciated. Oh, very nice. I was actually expecting the game to drop me his sword, which I can't use, because I'm pretty sure I don't have the stats for it. And even if I did, that thing's too heavy for me anyway. Like, me personally, not for, like, stats or anything. Okay, well, the nice thing here is we've got a Black Knight shield now, so... that means we don't need the Dragon Crest shield anymore. Let's see. Put the shuttle away. Crossbow can go. Lightning Spear can go away. Let's see. Hollow Soldier Shield. Don't need the Dragon Crest shield anymore because the Black Knight shield will replace it. And then that should be good. Okay. So the next thing we want to do is we want to head back to the parish because now I want to make my return trip to the Undead Asylum. Actually, thinking about that, let me look at my inventory and make sure I have everything. So I've already given her a Sunlight Medal. I know that. A Blooming Clump. I can give her one of those, I think. Prism Stone. I know I can give that to her. Put the Firekeeper Soul. Actually, keep that on me, because there is a Firekeeper around. Well, I can pull that out when I go back to Blighttown later. Let's see. Humanities have been done. Oh, the coin! I forgot to give the coin to Franz. He pays quite a bit for the coins, actually. Let's see. Do I still have the sack, or did I put that away? I still have it, so cool. You can trade the sack to Snuggly. Let's see. Dingy Set, Gold Hemmed, Wanderer. That should be fine. Let's see. Ring of Steel Protection, Blue Tear Stone. We don't need those. Those are useless. Let's see. Chloranthy, Rusted Iron. All these rings of sacrifice, covetous gold serpent ring. While I'm here, let's actually reinforce our armor. Because we've got plenty of Titanite shards and souls to spare. So let's get the dingy hood and all that stuff to +3. Okay. Don't care about the sack. Now, let's check our weapons. I can upgrade the Gargoyle's Halberd and the Longbow again. I think everything else would need regular Ascension, but I don't think I'll do that for now. I've got the spare Titanite. Am I going to need regular Titanite shards for anything else? I'm trying to think, and I don't think so. So, I'll at least give the Grasscrest shield a +1, just so I know that it's mine, I don't accidentally sell it. And the Black Knight shield's where I'm going to be dumping all of my Twinkling Titanite into. Or at least most of it. So, let's see. 1 and 1. So we don't have a whole lot of Twinkling Titanite, so I don't want to dump all of it, because we're going to get another shield. Like another specialty shield that upgrades with Twinkling Titanite, so... Getting that to +2 for now should work. So if we actually look at this, you see, right now it's actually better than our Baldur shield. Because the stability is the same, it weighs a bit more, but it has better defenses overall. Slightly better magic, slightly better lightning, really good fire, 95% fire. And I can still fast roll with it. Okay, so this is actually an upgrade. I'll use this for now. The Baldur shield will outpace it when I get some more upgrades on it because of the stability difference. But for now, this will do. Just pang off the wall, why don't you? Oh, I mistimed that really bad. There we go. My timing's way off. Let's swap back to the Wolf Ring at this point, because I don't need the bonus drops anymore. Now, I will still be using the Covetous Gold Serpent Ring for other Black Knights we encounter, because any extra stuff that they drop is just more loot in my pocket. But I'll also want it for Crystal Lizards, and I think the main enemies I want it for, actually, aside from enemies that I'm going to be farming materials from, is I'm going to want them for Black Knights, Crystal Lizards, and Mimics. Specifically. Oh! That sounded meaty. I bet that didn't feel good. All their leggings. Did he drop something else? Nope. Alright. And here we are back at the parish. Let's head to the asylum now. We can finish our business there. Well, most of our business. We'll still have some trades to make with Snuggly, but even after we do most of the business there, but we can otherwise clear it out and take care of everything else that's in there. Alright. We will deal with Snuggly on the way out. So for now, we have business to attend to here. A lot of business. But that's not a huge deal. You actually can parry that little holding the torch thing, but the timing's a bit tricky. Alright. So, like before, don't run across the center of the room. It's a pitfall trap and you will more than likely die. These guys? Nope, they are aggroed. I was just seeing if they were or not. Well, at least this one is. Come on, come get some. I do want to reorganize my bag here. Change order. I want that up there. Yeah, about there should do fine. Okay, let me equip the gold serpent ring, because now we've got to deal with this Black Knight down in this hallway here. What do you got for me? Black Knight Sword. Can I equip that? I don't know if I have the stats for it. I actually do. The problem is, though, it's really heavy. It's 8 units of weight. Swing's decent, though. I'll hang on to this, because this could actually be useful. It's not my preferred Black Knight weapon, but if I can't get my preferred Black Knight weapon, this will do in a pinch. Great Sword of the Black Knights who wander Lordran, used to face Chaos Demons. The large motion that puts the weight of the body into the attack reflects the great size of their adversaries long ago. So I mentioned that Divine weapons had a sort of creature-type modifier on them against the skeletons of the catacombs specifically. The Black Knight weapons are another type of weapon that have a creature-type attribute on them. Specifically, this does more damage to demons. Things like the Taurus Demon and the Capra Demon. And both of those we will actually encounter as regular enemies further down the line. So when we actually go to that area, if I can't get my preferred Black Knight weapon, that Black Knight Sword will do. I don't think... Yeah, the ball's not back. Oscar! What's up? Poor dude's gone hollow. Let's put him out of his misery. And we get the Crest Shield. Shield of the Nameless Knight, likely a high-ranked Knight of Astora. One of the enchanted blue shields, the Crest Shield greatly reduces magic damage. I believe this has the, I think the second highest magic resist of any shield in the game. I personally prefer it over the alternative because the alternative that has better magic defense is very marginal. It's like a 5-point difference, and the other shield doesn't have 100% physical resist. So I find the Crest Shield to be better. So now that we have the crest shield, let's reinforce it. Like the Black Knight shield, it uses Twinkling Titanite, so we can get that to +2 at least. +2 should be fine for now, I would think. Alright. So, we have a boss to fight here now. But first, let's clear the area. Okay. So, for this boss, I'm not going to want my bow. Let's see. I want the Chloranthy ring, because the Wolf ring's not going to help. Most of its attacks are not physical, so poise won't be an issue. I'm going to want the Crest Shield, because this boss primarily does magic damage. Same reason I want the Dingy equipment. There we go. Let me actually check the description of the skirt, because I think this says something different. It is thought to have once been the white skirt of a maiden, but its true origin is lost in patches of blood. Perhaps its former wearer was maimed to prevent escape. Yep. Okay, so we've got a bunch of magic resistance. I don't want to use the Gargoyle's Halberd. The Gargoyle's Halberd's actually a decent alternative. It's a decent weapon to use because you can buff it. The Large Club wouldn't be bad either because the Large Club has a poison modifier on it. But I want to use the Divine Reinforced Club here. I can't buff it, but it has bleed. That's the important thing here. And the boss we're fighting is susceptible to status effects. So, first and foremost, cast Fall Control. You're going to need that to survive the initial drop. Okay, and he started the fight by turning around instead of trying to blast me. This is the Stray Demon. This guy is basically a reskinned Asylum Demon. His moveset is exactly the same, but he has one additional move with that staff of his. And any moves that he shares have been upgraded. You'll notice when he does the little smash, it releases a shockwave. Any attack of his that releases a shockwave, that shockwave does magic damage, and those are probably the most dangerous attacks at his disposal. And you can see, even with an upgraded Crest Shield, that still did a heavy amount of damage. So this guy's kind of like a super boss, I guess. You're not supposed to fight him right now. But he's easy enough, because he's like the Asylum Demon. He's slow, he's predictable. If you've got the right setup, you can take him out pretty easy. And he's susceptible to being behind him. So when you're fighting him, something important to note if you're using this method is his little stab of the ground attack right there. When you're behind him, the range of it extends slightly past the tip of his tail. There we go, bleed. You can see that wasn't quite 30% because, you know, he's got resistance because he's a boss. But bleed will kill him quickly. You can also apply poison if you're using either a poisonous weapon or you have a rotten pine resin. Okay, being in front of him is one of the worst places to be. Because not only is he going to be using more of his attacks, He'll use more of his magic AoE blasts, which when you're in front of him are a lot harder to dodge. But I like how Dark Souls breaks the RPG tradition of bosses being immune to status effects by virtue of being bosses. It makes status effects actually useful, because for most rank-and-file enemies, you're going to kill them too quick for them to be of any use. So actually having bosses be susceptible to them makes them more attractive as an option. Like, if it wasn't for the fact that my Divine Club here could bleed proc, I'd be using the Gargoyle's Halberd instead because of the raw damage output being better. But with the club, the bleed procs make it just a little bit better. And for our trouble, we get one of the legendary Titanite slabs. Titanite slab for weapon reinforcement. Legendary slabs were the domain of the gods. Reinforces standard weapons to plus 15 and crystal or lightning weapons to plus 5. Legendary slabs are the heirlooms of a nameless blacksmith deity who forged the weapons of other gods. Weapons forged with this slab become rare legendary weapons. Indeed they do. Indeed they do. Okay, so let's get back to our regular attire here. It's Baldur's Shield. Actually, the Black Knight Shield, because that has better stability. Or better defenses, not necessarily better stability. Where's my bow? And I also want the Covetous Gold Serpent Ring, because when you leave the arena, through this little passageway over here, the little hallway you drop into has a Black Knight at the end of it, so we can potentially get some more goodies. Yeah, there we go. What do you got for me? Another Black Knight sword. Hey, I mean, that one's at least free souls. Alright, so don't need this anymore. Let's go with the Wolf Ring. And if back in our cell, our old cell, a peculiar doll. Believe it or not, that's actually a key. Where is it? A strange doll in strange dress. There once was an abomination who had no place in this world. She clutched this doll tightly and eventually was drawn into a cold and lonely painted world. So we need that to get into an optional area later in the game. But now that we've done that, we've killed the Stray Demon, we've killed Oscar, we've killed both the Black Knights, we've got the Peculiar Doll. We are done here in the Asylum, as far as, like, main content goes. The only reason we'll ever have to actually come back here is to do the occasional bartering with Snuggly. Let me see if I can do some silly stuff now that this hole's here. Oh, I shot you in the head. So sorry about that. Oh, I missed. Okay, this guy knows I'm here. Oh, he almost slipped in. Oh, there he goes. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. That other guy probably should have died from the fall. I don't know how that missed, but it did. And those guys are going to leash, so Like, before they even get out and aggro onto me and try to attack me again, they'll forget that I was even here. So, okay, Snuggly, I got some more items to trade to you. Let's see. I've got you a blooming purple moss clump. You want one of these.
You, give me warm, give me soft.
2 bits of Twinkling Titanite. We can get more upgrades with that. Let's see. I believe the only other item we can give to her at the moment... Yeah, we have a Prism Stone here. We can give that to her. Did it again.
Give
Demon Titanite. We'll need every bit of that we can give. And then I think that's everything from the normal items we can give her for now. So let's give her the sack. Third time's the charm. There we go.
you, give me.
And you'll notice in exchange for our sack, she's giving us a weapon. The Demon's Great Hammer. That's how you're supposed to get that if you killed the Asylum Demon the way you were supposed to. And not just beat on him for 20 minutes with your knuckles. Alright, so we're done here. There's more stuff we can do as far as trades with Snuggly are concerned, but we'll come back for those later. For now, our business in the asylum is concluded. Okay. Hey, buddy, I forgot to talk to you. What's up?
Oh, hello there. I'm pleased to see you safe. As always, if you provide the materials, I can teach you pyromancy.
You got anything new to say?
My teacher, whom I imagine still resides in the Great Swamp, had a funny way of putting it. He said that pyromancy is the ultimate fantasy. We are born into dark and warmed by fire, but this fire we cannot touch. Those whose fascination with fire persists learn to hold it in their own hand. He rather had a way with words, the old withering frog. In this land, pyromancers earn a certain respect. The Witch of Izalith, one of the legendary lords, is the godmother of pyromancy. So the day I became undead, I was ecstatic. I felt as if I'd been chosen to attune myself to the ancient arts. Of course, it wasn't all that romantic in the end. A pyromancer's flame, please.
I actually do want to see... Yes, I actually want to make another purchase from him. Combustion is the only pyromancy we want from him that's offensive, which we won't be making much use of at this point. Flash Sweat, however, is a very nice defensive buff. Pyromancy of Carmina, who harnessed the power of the flame to actualize the inner self. Intense sweating reduces flame damage. Carmina, the most accomplished pupil of Salaman the Master Pyromancer, pioneered new directions for the art of pyromancy. So we use that to boost our fire defense. That'll be helpful
Goodbye,
for
then.
a few
Come
things.
back if you find anything new.
Will do, man. Will do. I do have some stuff that I want to sell to Frampt, but I won't worry about that right now. Oh! You're back. Where are your little friends?
Oh, you again? Me? I've become separated from my lady. I've scoured near and far, but no sight of her. Where could she have gone? My lady, to think I swore to protect you with my life.
How do you not know what happened to them? You went down there with them. I mean, even then, I'm sure if you encountered Patches and he was involved, you would have said as much.
Your Highness, where have you gone? I am entirely to blame for this. Oh, woe is me. I am unworthy, deathly so. Oh, I'm sorry. Miracles, was it? Sometimes I lose myself. Pay me no mind.
Notice he lost his talk option, but he will still sell you stuff. Oh yeah, by the way, I mentioned when I first got the Ulasil Ivory Catalyst that both miracles and sorceries have a casting medium that has a static amount of magic adjust. For miracles, that is the Thorolin Talisman. It has, oh wait. Yeah, here it is. Has high miracle adjustment, which thanks to divine protection, is not dependent upon faith. Now, I don't know why that says 39. It should be static. That should be like 200 something. Maybe it's because I don't have... Wait a minute. I think I know why. It still has a minimum faith requirement. Yeah, I don't meet the requirement of 10. That's why the magic adjust is so low. Yeah, he doesn't even say farewell now. Something's up. Now, I don't know what your... like, how you're supposed to know to do this, but... I believe at this point, we can pay a visit to our friend Oswald, and he has some new dialogue. Tried to aim for my head, was just going over my shoulder. That's a lot of bodies. Yo, Oswald.
Greetings, and welcome back. I am pleased to see thee preserving thy humanity. Hast thou acquaintance with Petrus of Thurn? I wager you two has likely found much in common. For is he not too drenched in sin?
So Petrus has committed a crime of some sort.
Has I thought...
Do you have anything I'd be interested in? Not really.
Thou art welcome any time. It is only human to commit a sin.
So, now that we've talked to him, I do believe Petrus suddenly decides he wants to change his tune.
Oh, I'm sorry. Miracles, was it? Sometimes I lose myself.
No, I guess not. Maybe there's another trigger you have to trip to get him to talk about it.
Oh,
No. Okay. Well, we know at the very least not to trust the guy, so... I mean, we knew that from the beginning when he tried to bribe us for information, or tell us to bribe him for information. But just kind of keep him in mind. He's definitely hiding something. Okay. There's one more area I want to go to before calling it a stream, because I actually want to join a specific covenant. This is a little bit of a sequence break, but it's making use of an item that we got a couple of episodes ago. And we need to head back into Darkroot Garden. Nothing new for Andre for now. Bye. Okay, here we are. Now, before I do anything else, I do want to, since I have the extra Titanite on me, let's get the Black Knight Shield and the Crush Shield to +3. There we go. Now, something important about where I'm going next. If you are playing Remastered or otherwise playing online, turn off your online or play as a holo before you go through here. Because this area is a PvP hotspot. This is the back of Darkroot Garden. We will be coming here to explore in full later. Right now, I want to go about, probably about 40% or so through the area, because there is a specific NPC I want to talk to. But to get to that NPC, I have to kill all of these guys. 3,000 souls for the knight, 2,000 souls for the sorcerer. Now, there are, I think, 7 NPCs who spawn here, or 7 NPC bandits that you can fight. These guys are known as forest hunters. But there's a sorcerer, as you can see, there's a bandit right there. There's 2 knights, there's an archer, or a hunter, a thief, and a cleric. I would say the most dangerous of the lot are the knights and the bandit, because they hit really hard. These guys have like +7, +8 weapons, and most of them are positioned in such a way that they can cover each other's backs. Like you saw with the knight and the sorcerer there. Now, of the forest hunters that you can fight, the two knights and the hunter do not respawn once they die. So before I do my business here, that I actually came here to do, I want to kill all of these guys to get the unique enemies out of the way. No. 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 That guy has a very powerful healing miracle, which is weird because, technically speaking, by the game's own rules, he shouldn't be able to cast that, because that particular miracle he cast has a restriction that you have to be in a specific covenant in order to cast it, and that covenant ain't the forest hunters. Now, that's the cleric dead. The thief is wearing a ring of fog, so you can kind of barely see him next to that bush. He's kind of translucent. I believe the knights also wear the ring of fog. What are you doing? Come on. Yeah, this guy just likes to dance around, but it's very obvious when he's going on the attack. So I want to be careful heading over here by the log. Okay, I think that's the hunter right there between the trees. So we're looking for the knight. There's the knight. He's hanging out right there. Now, when you're fighting these guys, you want to stay back in the area where I am, because if you try going from, like, say, that direction, there's a bunch of foliage demons hanging out near the cliff, and they won't hesitate to team up with the hunters to actually kill you. So let's get a headshot on this guy and deal with him. Well, trees got in my way. Now, the hunter is just up ahead, but she's looking in that direction, so if I'm fortunate, I can probably do some very heavy damage with a backstab here. Nope. You want to be careful with her, because she's shooting at you with a very powerful bow. And she just rolls off the cliff and died. 5,000 souls for her. She was the leader, evidently. But she actually has some unique items that she drops. So let's get her stuff back. She actually dropped 3 items, 2 of which are unique to her. Twin Humanities. I've heard a very interesting theory about that NPC in particular, because most of the time we've picked up a Twin Humanity from an enemy, it's usually been an enemy that shows up in pairs, like the Bell Gargoyles, for example. You get a Twin Humanity for killing them, and there's 2 of them. There's a theory that this woman, it is a woman, kind of hard to tell when she's translucent, but it is a woman. The theory was before she got undead, or before she became undead, she was pregnant. So, a bit of an interesting theory, and it makes sense, because it's technically 2 human bodies in one. But for killing her, we get the unique longbow, the black bow of Ferris, and we also get Ferris's hat. Probably the epitome of fashion souls. At least if you're playing as a male character. Because, let's take a look at that. And that's also all of the Forest Hunters, by the way. Let's take a look at this hat. Broad-brimmed hat favored by the archer hero Ferris. Ferris was an accomplished archer, and though he was human, he ranked alongside Hawkeye Goff, one of the 4 Knights of Lord Gwyn. His hat is universally popular among children. I mean, when you've got a fancy-looking hat like that, I can see why people would like it. And unfortunately, this particular hat style is only available to you if you are playing a male character. If you are playing a female character, it looks more like a derby. Or like something a lot more plain. Now, technically speaking, we have not killed all of the Forest Hunters. There's one that appears after talking to you. Hello, Kitty.
Is it not so that thou art new? Thou fared well to find me. That cometh thee not for the grave of Sir Artorius? My advice true. Forget this. The legend of Artorius art none but a fabrication. Traversing the dark? 'Tis but a fairy tale. Have thine own respect. Go not yonder knocking for nothing, I say.
I believe you want to say yes.
Well, indeed, thou art a strange one. Nevertheless, I feel some liking for thee. I'm Alvina of the Darkroot Wood. I command a clan of hunters who track down defilers of the forest graves. What dost thou say? Wilt thou not join us? Oh, yes, I believe we would suit thee well.
I will join you, yes.
I am very glad. And now thou art one of us. Let us establish a covenant.
So we have abandoned the Way of White for no penalty, because the Way of White doesn't have any progression, for the Forest Hunters.
And here taketh this ring. If thou wearest that ring, it allows for thine summoning. If mine senses reveal intruders, then I will summon thee. Fend them off, sir. I beseech only this. I shall summon others who will, by their honor, work tirelessly with thee. Thou shalt receive great reward, and whatsoever ye shall pillage will be thine own. A true agreement, not so? But thou must heed the golden rule. The clan is thine own family. To thine kinsmen forever stay true. Darest not in any attempt to double-cross. Have no doubt, such wretchedness never will we tolerate.
I won't be doing anything of the sort, I assure you.
Ah, thou dost cometh. How fares ye? My hopes for thee are of the highest. Do not such a hope shatter with foul disproportion.
But now that we are a part of the Forest Hunters, this guy shows up.
I've heard all about you. I'm Shiva of the East, captain of the brigade. Let's teach you the clan basics now, as there's no time to chat in the midst of fighting. Except there is little in the form of rules, you hear? Fight and hunt as you like. Whoever's fastest gets the prey. That's the way we do it. Only, don't forget what Alvina said. Traitors aren't given a second chance, for any reason. That's about it then. Don't worry. It's a good old time, isn't it? Great to have you with us. Good hunting to you. Don't worry now. You'll be called in soon enough. Hunters with patience score the best kills.
Don't think I don't see your friend back here. Howdo, Mr. Shadow.
Ah, did you notice that one with sharp eyes? He is one of the clan from the east, like myself, always slinking in the shadows. But he is a tough one. You'll see what I mean.
So, while we're on our way to finishing this off, I'll go ahead and explain the Forest Hunters, because now this is our first covenant that actually has a progression system. Unfortunately, in this version of the game, you cannot make any progress in it because the online is debunked. Or, no, not debunked, defunct, sorry. But I mentioned if you were playing a version that is online compatible, you should either be a holo or be offline before going in here. The reason for that is because of the Forest Hunters. The Forest Hunters are a PvP covenant that when they wear the Cat Covenant ring, I believe is what Alvina gave us, as long as you are wearing that and you are standing in the back of the Darkroot Garden, if you are part of the Covenant and doing both of those things, you will occasionally get summoned by the game and pulled into another player's world who is currently walking around in that area that is not a Forest Hunter. And basically the idea is you track them down and kill them. Now, usually, most Covenants that have a progression system, you have to progress with the Covenant by giving the Covenant leader, in this case Alvina, some kind of item that is relevant to that Covenant. The Forest Hunters is the only Covenant where you don't have to do that, because you don't get any sort of tradable item, or rather, you don't get a specific item for killing your target. If you are playing as a Forest Hunter and you invade someone and kill them, you get a PvP victory under your belt. I don't believe it counts as a sin because you're not a red invader, you're a blue phantom when you get called in. And you will get a random item from an assortment of various things that can drop from that. But you don't get like a humanity or anything like that with the other Covenants. But how the game keeps track of your progress in the Forest Hunters is how many battles you've won. And you make progress in the Covenant by killing trespassers, and when you kill enough of them, you'll get ranks. And I believe the main benefit to actually ranking up in the Covenant is Covenants that have progression have 3 levels. You have your basic, which is what we're at, or +0. Then you have, I think it's +1 and +2? It might be 4 levels, there might be +3, I don't remember. But I believe the main benefit, if online is enabled, to joining the Forest Hunters is you get a Ring of Fog when you get a high enough level. And what the Ring of Fog does is it's a equipable version of the Hidden Body spell. It turns your character transparent or translucent and reduces aggro range of enemies. I don't need that because I have the Hidden Body spell, but it is still nice to have. And something interesting is if you're looking to play that way, the Ring of Fog and Hidden Body actually do stack. Because I believe while Hidden Body reduces enemy aggro by about 75%, it's either 50 or 75%. Hidden Body does that. The Ring of Fog reduces enemy aggro by either 50 or 25%. It's 25% less than what the spell gives you, but they do stack with each other. So before I end off the stream, I want to end off in Blighttown, right where we started, but there's a couple of things I want to show off on the way while I'm discussing that, because I actually do have a plan. Now this is a little different from how I normally do this, but I'm having to make some adjustments to account for the fact that I'm streaming. and I can't continue much longer. So normally what I do at this point in the game is, after having gotten to Sen's Fortress, gotten the Gold Serpent Ring, farmed all the items, and joined the Forest Hunters, is normally I go back to Sen's Fortress and clear it out, because there's some large Titanite shards that you can get as loot there. But due to how things are going with the stream, those are going to have to be wasted, because I have to do a lot of farming between episodes. Have you changed your tune yet?
Oh, you. Have you seen Milady? Oh, blast, where might she be? And would she be safe?
I mean, you're saying new stuff, but I don't think you've changed your tune yet.
Oh, I'm sorry. Miracles, was it? Sometimes I lose myself. Pay me no mind.
I'm watching you, Petrus. But yeah, I need to go to Blighttown, because between episodes, now that I have the covetous Gold Serpent Ring, I'm going to be farming the leeches for enough upgrade materials to upgrade everything. I want to get my weapons and other equipment up to either +6 or +10, depending on what the item is, which for armor it'd be +6, for weapons it would be +10. And I just have a lot of stuff to upgrade, but I want to actually show some things first, because showing it later would just result in more grinding for me. Let's head back. We know the score here. Gotta get our poison resist. Just checking my weight. Tag teamed. You know, this reminds me of Final Fantasy II a little bit, the Cavern of Deist, because you could potentially run into 2 Gigases at once. More dung pies for Dung Eater Frampt. Alright. I wonder if I'll actually have enough souls to get what I need. I might not. Because I actually do... Yeah, I can kill these guys in one hit now. There we go. But, the reason I'm coming down here, actually, is, besides farming, there's also some purchases I want to make. And I wanted to buy some very expensive things. Yeah, buzz off, mosquitoes. But yeah, you might be thinking, Laddie, there's no merchants down here. What are you going to possibly be buying? Well... to answer that question, I will explain that the reason I joined the Forest Hunters is because there is a PvE benefit to doing so. Let's get rid of you. I want to make sure the entire area is clear before talking to Hey Shiva. He's actually shifted a little bit to the left. I think he's supposed to be more on the little fencing, but whatever. But yeah, if you are a member of the Forest Hunters and talk to Shiva in the forest, you come back to Blighttown, you'll find him here.
Hello again. Strange to meet away from the clan and the forest. But while you are here, how about some equipment? I love collecting these things, but I can only keep so many. And you know, you are a friend. I'll sell them cheap.
We can learn Look Skyward. And we can purchase some unique weapons from him. These are weapons you normally can't get any other way. The Flamberge you can get as a drop from the female snake people. The Stone Greatsword can be dropped by Stone Guardians. The Demon Great Machete could have been dropped by the Capra Demon. The Shodel I don't think is dropped by anything. You can find one for free in Sen's Fortress. The Uchigatana, we could have gotten one of those from killing the Undead Merchant and the Bird, which I do actually want to pick one of those up. The Washing Pole, I think, is unique to Shiva. You have to buy that from him. The Demon's Great Axe could have potentially been dropped by the Taurus Demon. The Claw, I think, is unique and you have to buy from him. And the Demon Spear. These will drop off of an enemy we haven't met yet, but it's easier just to buy one from Shiva. So, okay, I actually do have the souls I need. He's also got a ring. He's got the Eastwood Grain Ring, which slows durability loss.
I see. You have a sharp eye for trinkets. Suits me fine. I'll be seeing you.
And thank you, Shiva, for the items. So, we are not done with Shiva yet. Yeah, I've got enough time. This will take maybe 5 minutes. I just want to save here at the bonfire first. Out of my way. Alright, I heard buzzing. Is there mosquitoes after me? Because I would prefer not to deal with mosquitoes right now, if at all possible. And it doesn't look like there's any around. Okay, so what I want to do for this bit is I want to equip the Rusted Iron Ring, because now that I've bought the items from Shiva, I want to go ahead and finish what I started and kill the last of the Forest Hunters. And to do that, I want this Crag Spider. Because you'll notice his bodyguard's kind of there behind the barricade out of sight. If you attack Shiva, both of them go hostile. However, you can get this Crag Spider here to kill Shiva for you. And the bodyguard won't go hostile until Shiva dies.
You!
How dare you poise through? And if you do it that way, you'll notice his bodyguard's kind of having some pathing issues trying to get around that barricade there. So, since he's stuck, we can have our fun with him. Now, the main reason we did that was not to kill Shiva, even though we can get a rare weapon from doing so. We did that to kill his bodyguard. We get a humanity, and the Darkwood Grain Ring. Probably one of the best rings in the game. Now, by doing that, we did betray the Forest Hunter Covenant, so we have committed a sin. But the Blades of the Dark Moon technically don't exist anymore because, you know, no online. So, not going to worry too much about that. Yeah, if I can just get this Crag Spider off of me. Be gone! But by killing the bodyguard, we get the Darkwood Grain Ring. This special ring, crafted in an eastern land, is made of gold, but with a wood grain crest on its surface. Agents of subterfuge in this faraway land are particularly fond of the dark gold wood grain, which greatly alters its wearer's rolling action. This is one of the best rings in the game, because back during the Asylum Demon fight, I was making mention of the various weight thresholds that affect your dodge roll. this is the special lightest weight one. If you have the Darkwood Grain Ring and you are at fast roll weight, instead of fast rolling, you cartwheel. Cartwheel, backflip, the works. What makes this one really good is it has the most iframes out of any of the rolls. It has the greatest distance coverage of any of the rolls. And what's really good is it has next to no recovery frames, and it has no instability frames. It transitions immediately from roll to recovery with no extra damage frames if you happen to get clipped. So the Darkwood Grain Ring is really, really good. It's one of the best rings in the game. So that is the reason I wanted to come down here, but I at least wanted to make sure Shiva had outlived his usefulness first before killing him. Now, if I was playing this more normally, so to speak, because I usually play with New Game Plus in mind, if I was planning on taking this character to New Game Plus, before killing Shiva, I would have picked up a Demon's Great Axe, but this character is only going through one playthrough because there's no reason to show off multiple New Game Plus cycles because nothing changes. But, yeah, that's basically that. Did that for the Darkwood Grain Ring. We made a lot of progress today, even though we're back at square one where we started. Basically just went on a long, convoluted loop. But between episodes, I have a lot of... I've got a lot of leeches to kill, because I've got to farm a lot of large Titanite shards. I will probably sell my equipment to Frampt. I will go visit the Fair Lady, because she is a Firekeeper. She can reinforce my Estus with a Firekeeper soul. So I'll give that to her, probably upgrade my Estus off-screen. Let's see. Yeah, that should be it. So when we resume, I will meet you guys probably at Andre's bonfire. Would be the best place to start next episode, because we have multiple paths from there that we can take. So I think that'll do. So I will see y'all next time then. Hope y'all enjoyed. And have a good night, everybody. Sleep well.